What if I told you that just one rule could make you unstoppable? No more stress, no more overthinking, no more getting controlled by emotions. This rule was followed by Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, and it made them immune to distractions, insults, and failures. It's not a hidden secret. It has been right in front of us all along, but most people ignore it. The rule is simple. Control what you can. Ignore what you can't. That's it. But don't underestimate its power. Most of the problems in life come from worrying about things we have no control over. The weather, other people's opinions, the economy, someone ghosting you, a person cutting you off in traffic. None of these are in your control, yet we waste energy reacting to them. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world as the Roman emperor, lived by this rule every single day. Despite ruling an empire, facing betrayals, plagues, and wars, he remained calm because he focused only on what was within his control, his actions, thoughts, and decisions. Everything else? He let it go. How often do you check your phone, worrying about a message reply? How often do you overthink the past, replaying scenarios in your head? How often do you fear what others think of you? These are all distractions. They drain your energy and leave you anxious because you're focusing on things you have no power over. Instead, ask yourself this question every time you feel stressed. Do I have control over this? If yes, take action. If no, move on. It's that simple. But here's the problem. Most people don't like this answer. They want control over everything. They want guarantees in life. They want certainty in relationships. They want success without failure. But that's not how reality works. Epictetus said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not." Imagine if you truly embraced this. How much mental energy would you save? How many arguments would you avoid? How much more peace would you have? Let's take a real-world example. You apply for a job. You can control your preparation, your resume, your interview performance, but you can't control the hiring manager's decision. So once you've done your part, let go. If you get the job, great. If not, move on. The same applies to relationships. You can control how you act, how you communicate, how much effort you put in, but you can't force someone to love you, respect you, or stay in your life. Accept that truth, and you'll never feel desperate again. Most people waste their energy on things they cannot influence. And the worst part? This creates anxiety, frustration, and helplessness. But the moment you shift your focus, you become powerful. You stop complaining. You stop chasing. You stop reacting. Instead, you start creating. You start adapting. You start mastering yourself. A perfect example is the story of James Stockdale, a U.S. Navy pilot who was captured during the Vietnam War. He was a prisoner for 7 years, tortured and isolated. Yet he survived because he followed this one rule. He only focused on what he could control. He couldn't escape, but he could control his mindset. He couldn't stop the torture, but he could control his response. And that's how he stayed mentally strong while many others broke down. The reason this rule is so powerful is because it removes unnecessary suffering. We suffer twice, once from the event itself and once from our reaction to it. The first suffering is often unavoidable, but the second is optional. A breakup, a rejection, an insult, a failure. These things happen to everyone. But whether you let them control you is your choice. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Most of our pain comes from our thoughts. not the actual situation. The moment you understand this, you take back control. You stop living in fear of the future. You stop drowning in regret about the past. You start living in the present moment, where your power actually exists. Think of the things you worried about 5 years ago. The embarrassing moments, the bad days, the stressful situations. How many of them actually mattered in the long run? Probably none. Yet at the time, they consumed your mind. This is why the Stoics believed that focusing on what you can control is the key to peace and success. The next time someone insults you, stop for a second. Can you control what they say? Number. But you can control how you react. You can either let it ruin your day, or you can stay calm and unaffected. The next time you fail at something, ask yourself, can I change what happened? Number. But I can control what I do next. This mindset removes fear, removes anxiety, and gives you real power. Another great example is the life of Nelson Mandela. He was imprisoned for 27 years. Most people would have broken under such circumstances, filled with anger and bitterness. But Mandela focused only on what he could control: his attitude, his mindset, his response to the situation. When he was finally released, he didn't seek revenge. Instead, he chose forgiveness, unity, and wisdom. That's what made him one of the greatest leaders in history. The truth is, life is unpredictable. You will face difficulties. You will face unfairness. You will face obstacles. But what truly defines you is how you respond. You can either waste your energy complaining, or you can focus on what you can change. One path leads to frustration. The other leads to strength. One path leads to frustration, the other to strength. The choice is yours. If this helped, subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. Like, comment, and stay Stoic.